Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're embarking on an intriguing and definitely provocative deep dive. We're looking into a concept known as shit testing within relationships.
Right. And our source for this is specific. It's an MP3 excerpt from redonkulous.com featuring someone called Bad Pie.
Exactly. And our mission here is clear. We're objectively exploring the claims, the arguments from this specific viewpoint.
Right.
Want to pull out the insights from its perspective, just to understand it,
Yeah.
not endorsing it.
What's fascinating here, I think, is that this source offers a really bold, unapologetic, and yeah, sometimes quite controversial take on male-female dynamics. So as we go through this, our aim is just to impartially convey its ideas. We want to give you, the listener, a clear summary of this particular perspective on relationship challenges.
Okay, so let's start right at the beginning. How does this source actually define shit testing?
Well, it calls it a time-honored tradition that women supposedly engage in.
A tradition.
Yeah.
Okay, and how serious are these tests?
They can range, apparently, from pretty small all the way up to catastrophic. The source even claims men can wind up in prison over that shit.
Wow. That's a pretty dramatic framing right from the start.
It is, and the source posits a primary reason for why women do this.
Which is?
To see if they can manipulate men. That's the core assertion. It uses this imagery, like women putting out their little feelers or strings,
Hmm.
to see if men will jump for them. It's framed as this constant probe.
A probe. Okay. And the source says this probe is trying to answer, what, three main questions?
Three key things.
Yeah.
From its perspective, yes. First, can they dominate you?
Right.
Second, will you actually comply with being dominated?
Okay, compliance.
And third, are you worth their time? And that phrase is important.
Worth their time.
Mm.
What does that mean in this context? Is it about personality or
Well, the source is very specific here. It's talking about financial worth.
money?
Yeah, phrased really bluntly as make it rain. Make it rain.
Is the source saying this is like a conscious calculation
Yeah.
or more of an instinct?
It leans more towards an inherent drive, maybe.
Right.
But the source doesn't really distinguish clearly. It just focuses on the outcome. And to really hammer home that financial point, it uses some very stark examples.
But how?
Posing questions like, when's the last time you crawled in bed with a homeless dude? Huh, never.
Mm.
Direct quotes here.
Okay, very direct.
And it also talks about like preferences for facial hair changing.
Yeah.
Suggesting that if a beard were infested with lice or crabs or scotchy chingos, which it translates as your little buddies,
Right.
then the preference would obviously change. It's a crude way of linking perceived value or, well, basic hygiene to desirability.
It's certainly a provocative way to frame value in a relationship, suggesting material or physical condition is core to this worth idea. So if that's the definition,
Mm-hmm.
the source then makes another pretty big claim about when this supposedly starts.
Yeah, this is where it gets maybe even more surprising. According to the speaker, it's a factory default setting for women.
A factory default, like built in.
That's the analogy used, like a computer's blue screen of death, always capable of mayhem once it's activated.
Wow. And when does it supposedly get activated? How early?
Extremely early, according to the anecdote shared. The speaker mentions his own daughter.
His daughter.
Yeah, at just 2 or 3 years old, giving him an about face when he disagreed with her, prompting him to say something like, "Where did that come from? Woman, you're 2, go to your room."
So it's presented as something innate, not learned.
Exactly, that's the implication. It doesn't offer, like, scientific backing, just presents it as an observation within its framework.
Okay. A very bold assertion. So if it starts that young, when does it get refined?
The source claims it's perfected during middle and high school.
Ah, the teenage years.
Right. And this is described as a time when young men are absolutely helpless.
Helpless. Why?
Like shooting fish in a barrel is the phrase used. Because, and this is a direct quote again, us dudes in high school, we were all dick thinking we're feeling stupid.
Okay, so blaming hormones and naivety.
Pretty much. Making them easy targets in this view.
And the source claims women get so good at this, it just becomes automatic.
Second nature is the term used. To the point where they don't even realize they're doing it.
And men.
Many men, the speaker asserts, don't even realize you're being is-tested until you put a ring on it.
So pervasive, subtle, and often unrecognized until deep into a relationship.
That's the picture painted, yes.
Okay. Here's where, for me, this perspective takes another really interesting turn. The source predicts how women will react if they're actually confronted about this behavior.
Yes. It outlines 3 specific predicted reactions. framed as quite strategic, actually.
Strategic how? What's the first one?
The first is called the sexual redirect.
The sexual redirect.
Yeah, where a woman might apparently respond with something like, oh, I didn't realize, I'm so sorry, feigned innocence. But then, the source claims, women will put those things on a platter when you apologize, using intimacy or affection to diffuse the confrontation. The source suggests this works on deep-thinking individuals who might think, oh, okay, she loves me.
So it's seen as a calculated move to disarm the man.
That's the interpretation provided by the source. Yeah, it's framed as manipulation or deflection.
Okay, what's the second reaction?
That's the anger response. Just outright denial, maybe getting defensive, like, what? I would never do that. Perhaps with what the source colorfully describes as a head on a swivel and the 3 snaps.
Okay, so anger and denial. And the third?
Blaming the man, turning it around completely. It's all your fault.
Deflection.
Exactly. The source attributes this to guilty people needing to blame somebody else.
Ugh.
And then it concludes with a very sweeping statement, most women are guilty of us testing.
Wow, okay, so with those definitions and reactions laid out, let's get into the specifics. The source gives examples, right? Starting with more common everyday ones.
It does. Several common scenarios. For instance, showing up late.
Just being late, how is that a test?
The source claims it tests a man's patience, sees how much he'll put up with.
Okay.
Varying her appearance, showing up once with full makeup, once without.
To
gauge your reaction, see which version of her gets the best results.
So like sussing out preferences or boundaries subtly.
Seems to be the idea. Then there are the toilet wars.
Toilet wars. You mean the seat up or down things?
Exactly. Hey, did you put the seat down? The source's recommended reply is pretty blunt.
What does it suggest?
No, put it down yourself, because you didn't look. Situational awareness. It argues it's only a quality if women also lower the seat after using it.
Right. Okay. Any other common ones?
Yeah, influencing a man to drop plans with his friends.
How's that a test?
The source claims if a man isolates himself, blows off friends for her, he'll wind up by herself. F you. It's a test of his independence, maybe?
A warning about losing yourself in a relationship.
Definitely. Also, offering to drive. If a man lets her drive most of the time.
She becomes the driver in the relationship.
Yeah.
Metaphorically, too.
That's the implication in the source. An offering to pay half on a date.
Oh, I thought that was seen as modern, equal.
The source advises against letting her. Claims she will hold that S against you forever, even though she offered. It calls this a brain housing disconnect.
Brain housing disconnect, meaning
Implying a contradiction between what she says or offers and her underlying expectation or later reaction.
interesting term. Okay, and then the classic, the does this make me look fat question.
Ah, yes. The source says the answer needs to be instant. On a hair trigger,
Because hesitation means.
you're fed, according to the source, no room for error.
And what kind of answer does it recommend? Honesty? Diplomacy?
Bluntness. Extreme bluntness. Examples given are, how does my hair look? Reply, ratness.
Ratness, seriously.
That's the example. Does this make me look fat? Her reply, yes.
Wow.
You want me to drive? No. Why not? Because I don't want to have my life flash before my eyes watching you park.
Okay, so a very assertive, almost confrontational style is advised.
Very much so.
Those everyday examples paint quite a picture. But you mentioned the source also talks about nuclear tests.
Yes. Ones with much higher stakes. A very, very high rate of planting your ass in the ground, as the source puts it.
Planting your ass. Okay, like what?
First one mentioned is the jealousy shit test.
Testing for jealousy.
How? Like maybe bringing up male friends or colleagues, gauging the reaction. But the source says there is no upside to this. Even if you pass this test, it's manslaughter. Discussing female coworkers is the specific example given.
So even if you seem secure and not jealous, it's still bad.
Apparently, it's presented as a no-win scenario. Any reaction is wrong.
Okay. What else falls into this nuclear category?
Forcing men to do things they are diametrically opposed to.
Like?
The example given is a woman wanting to see, say, Brokeback Mountain. The source suggests a man counter with something equally potentially uncomfortable for her, like suggesting they see blue as the warmest color instead, adding a crude line about 4 tits being better than 2. It's framed as a battle of wills.
A very adversarial approach to differing tastes.
And then there's a really vivid one. Damaging a man's hobby or passion?
How so? Accidentally?
No, the source is adamant it's never an accident in this context. The example is smashing up or totaling a man's cherished project car, like a 1970 Pontiac Firebird he spent years on.
And the source claims this is deliberate. A test.
Absolutely, a test to gauge his reaction. If he lets it go, accepts an apology, then he's fing done, because the hobby is seen as indirect competition with the attention that she wants.
So letting it slide is seen as total surrender of something important.
That's the claim. A deliberate act of sabotage to test his boundaries and priorities.
That sounds incredibly high stakes.
It is. And finally, what the source calls the mother of all as tests, the text message, with the expectation the man immediately texts back, what is wrong?
Okay, and then?
If she replies, I'm late, meaning potentially pregnant, the source advises checking how late. If it's only a day or so, the source claims she is testing you, seeing how you'll react to the possibility.
And the recommended response.
A suggested asshole response, as the source calls it, is simply, you were late for work. Completely dismissive.
Wow. That's incredibly harsh.
It is. The source also describes vindictive women sending just a congratulations text after a pregnancy test without saying if it's good or bad news.
Just to see the man panic.
That's the implication. Maximum emotional reaction test.
So, okay, with all these perceived tests, from the mundane to the nuclear, laid out, what's the takeaway for men, according to this source? It provides strategies, right, for combating or avoiding this.
It does. Several combating strategies first. One, and probably the easiest, is being stoic.
Stoic, meaning?
Just, unreadable, emotionally neutral, making it absolutely difficult for them to gauge your reactions.
Maintaining a poker face, basically.
Yeah.
What if that's not possible?
Option 2, according to the source, is to asshole it out.
Which means?
Essentially ignoring them, giving the silent treatment maybe, because as the source says, we know how much they love that one.
Yeah. Ignore it.
But there's a specific warning attached to that one. The source says, don't you dare try that S on a Mexican chick, because she will chase you with a bat.
Whoa. Okay, a very specific and, frankly, stereotypical warning there, suggesting it's not a universal tactic.
You need. A third combating strategy is to flip it around on her.
Turn the tables.
Yeah. Take a page out of their script and flip it around on her. Use the same tactics back.
And the source acknowledges this might be controversial.
Oh, absolutely. It anticipates accusations of gaslighting and misogyny from feminists. It claims, if a dude pulls that S on a woman, he gets a javelin in the back. Then the speaker kind of owns the label.
So?
Saying, yes, I am an A, but then referencing Dennis Leary, I'm a dick by choice. The source then concludes that assholes get second chances and nice guys get parked in the friend zone.
A very cynical take on relationship dynamics. So those are ways to combat it in the moment. What about avoiding it altogether?
The source offers 4 easy steps to avoid what it calls the long, dark, shitty road.
Okay, step 1.
Tell the truth and just be yourself.
Authenticity.
Yeah. If it sticks, it sticks.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's like wet spaghetti against the wall. Don't pretend to be someone you're not.
Makes sense. Step 2.
Learn the value of the word no.
Setting boundaries.
Exactly. Constantly saying yes, will, yes. Man yourself right into an early grave. Protect your time, your energy.
Okay. Number 3.
Do not allow a woman to change you.
Don't change for someone else.
Right. The source claims if men let this happen, women lose all respect for you. Which then leads to the I'm not happy talk and the woman saying, you're not the man I started dating.
And the implied response is?
No, because you fing changed me and I let it happen. It puts the responsibility back on the man for allowing it. The speaker then directly advises women to just be happy with what you got and shut the fing and quit all this goddamn monkey branch and S.
Wow, okay. Strong words about maintaining identity and relationship stability there.
Yeah.
And the final step, number 4.
Never surrender your power.
Your power. What does that encompass?
It encompasses a whole litany of S, according to the source, including keeping control of your money.
Financial independence.
Setting and enforcing boundaries, linking back to saying no, and crucially not surrendering your hobbies or passions.
Right, the point about the car earlier.
Exactly. The source claims women love to sweep all that aside because they want you to be passionate about them. It argues they don't realize that his passion, maybe for his work or hobbies, was part of what attracted them to you in the first place, and now they flushed it.
So sacrificing your interests ultimately backfires.
That's the argument. The example given is building a bathroom palace instead of fixing the car that they wrecked, prioritizing her desires over his necessary or passionate pursuits. It's about maintaining individual agency.
Okay. So to wrap up this deep dive, we've really unpacked the core claims from this specific Redonkulous.com source about shit testing. It paints a picture of it as a pervasive female behavior, based on its view, and prescribes some very direct, often confrontational male responses. And just to reiterate, our goal here was purely to present this particular perspective as the source laid it out so you can understand its specific viewpoint.
And, this does raise some important questions. How do perspectives like this, even ones that might feel challenging or controversial, fit into our broader understanding of relationships? Thinking about diverse viewpoints, even the uncomfortable ones, can definitely inform your own thinking about interaction, communication, maybe hidden assumptions people bring.
Absolutely. It pushes you to examine different frameworks. So the question for you, the listener, might be, what do you make of all this? Do you recognize anything like these tests in your own life, whether they fit this source's dramatic descriptions or not? And perhaps more fundamentally, what's the real value of clear communication, mutual respect, and firm, healthy boundaries in any relationship, regardless of whether you buy into this specific concept of shit testing?
Yeah, something to definitely mull over as you navigate your own connections.